Hi everyone, this is Group Roshaman and I'm Shrimlika. We will be talking about the movie If Bale Street Could Talk. And by we, I mean our group members who are Spandana, Haswini, Gunika, and last but not the least, Akash. Can someone tell me about the history of this film?
So this film has been based on the novel with the same name, written by James Baldwin. Racism, which is the underlying premise of this film, is an actual representation of what went down in America during the 1960s and the 70s. As a matter of fact, up until 1968, it was only legal for a police officer to search a suspect after the person has been arrested, unless the officer has, obtained such a warrant. It was illegal to do something like this. However, the Supreme Court ruled uh, that in 1968 that officers could frisk anyone, and I quote, officers could frisk anyone who might appear dangerous. And because of this policy, now this policy is actually given the term stop and frisk. Officers were allowed to decide for themselves who might be dangerous, which is really messed up because this law quickly led to the practice of racial profiling, in which racist officers often stopped people of color without having any actual reason of suspect. Was very prominent in the film. I mean, the whole plot was based on it, right? And behind it.
About the time then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
go on, Vanika.
when we talk about the themes, racism definitely is like one of the most important theme. And it was clearly evident like throughout the movie. We could see it in the movie when Tisha and Fonny, who were the main characters, no one rented to them just because they were black. And this movie also like deals with a lot of sensitive issues that not a lot of movies have been able to portray accurately. So I'm talking about addressing issues like racism,
Race.
police harassment, social injustice, poverty, religious faith, and like a lot. It just goes on. Like so many of these were addressed in a black love story format. So it was really good to see that. And this movie was also like full of emotions, and it was all happening together in the lives of the characters. So emotions like fear, joy, pain, suffering, and the most important one, love. One thing that one of the most important scenes was the conversation between Danny and his friend. And Danny said that he spent 2 years in jail for stealing a car, and he didn't even know how to drive. And it seemed like very funny to me, and it was very sad also at the same
Yeah,
time.
it's just the irony of that whole statement.
Yeah. And also like throughout the movie we could see like a strong portrayal of conflicting emotions like hope and fear. Like they're polar opposites, but movie portrayed it very well. Like both was there throughout the movie.
And also supporting your and Spandana's point, torture was very evident in some of the scenes. So that also shows highlights the racism and how Danny was so the fear in his eyes when he was talking about prison and explaining to
Yeah.
Fonny that he has seen things that are imaginable or that are so fearsome.
Yeah, and it
So
also shows how
It
well the actors can portray these emotions. They're not just being
like
casted in
we were
films.
able to feel it,
Feel it exactly,
like the
exactly.
fear.
Yeah.
exactly.
So
So
I think
that really shows their acting skills. No? Go on,
also,
Spandana,
there's
sorry.
actually this very interesting fact about this movie. It's actually set in New York, and this place, which is Bailey Street, is a downtown street in Tennessee, which is actually really cool because I was reading this interview with the director, and he said that they chose New York for a particular reason. And there was also an article by New York Times that basically summarized how this how this movie has given a tour of New York, and the black slums of New York, or the areas where black people live. And
Yeah.
we see this in many different movies. They give, so I don't know if you all have seen Three Idiots, right?
Yeah, I did.
It's been shot, the movie has been shot in Bangalore, but it's been given the name of another city. I think it was Delhi or Shimla, I'm not sure, I don't remember very well. But we see this with a lot of these good movies. They're not shot in the place where it's, where the place as it's shown, but the directors make this conscious choice to shoot it somewhere else to give that impact, that better impact.
Yeah, also like I read it somewhere that Barry Jenkins' visual style was influenced by many directors like Spike Lee and also Wong
Wong
Kar-wai.
Kar-wai,
And
correct, Wong Kar-wai.
yeah,
Even I read this, which is very ironic because we just did
yeah,
a movie on him.
a movie review. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very cool actually.
Yeah,
Also,
and he was very like influenced with like vibrant colors and like
Correct.
minimal
Yeah.
dialogue of In the Mood for Love. And
Hmm.
so he tried to incorporate it in this
In
movie
this movie
also. Like you
itself.
could see
Correct.
how vibrant like the colors and everything were.
And that's actually uh, a juxtaposition, because so
Yeah,
we see how beautifully these two connect, because the movie is about something, but what he's trying to do is trying to expand that horizon, that and tell people that a color is just a color. I mean, it shouldn't be anything more than a color,
yeah,
so that's actually very pretty cool.
yeah,
Also, this movie's cinematographer is also the same one as the movie Moonlight.
Hmm.
So he stuck with the same cinematographer, and the shots of the some of the shots of the movie are so beautifully
Hmm.
framed and shot. And they've used a wide range camera for
Camera,
this, so
yeah.
you can see every detail in the frame, and
Hmm.
some of the close up shots of the actors and their
yeah. Like how they
expressions.
zoomed on to the faces.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. They're so engaging because the actors directly look into the lens. So it's like
yeah.
they're talking to you. But personally, I just felt while watching the movie that I was present there because the acting and the cinematography was on point.
Yeah, like I loved how this movie like made me feel so close and like connected to the characters also.
Exactly. Because some of the close-up shots, I actually felt that the actors were looking at me or like talking to me. That's a really engaging thing for the audience. So
Do you guys have any critical comments about this film? Like, something that could have been better, or something that, was could have been depicted better, or some stereotype that shouldn't have been there, or anything, like anything that you thought could have been better about the movie, or was it just perfect the way it was?
not a critical review, but I just observed something that did you guys see that she had to give birth at home?
Hmm.
And that
Yeah.
kind of shows how there weren't good hospital facilities for colored women, or how they did not have enough to pay for a decent hospital, maybe.
That might just be because of the time, I guess,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
they would like get midwives to come at home and help in the delivery,
Hmm.
like normal
But
delivery.
also
So,
just imagine what if a colored woman had gone to a hospital at that time? Do you think she would have been treated equally or she would have given the same care that the other?
I feel like the clip that we saw in class the other day about the black woman having to travel 6 kilometers to,
Hmm, go to the
go to the
washroom.
washroom. I think we're reiterating the same point here, because
yeah,
uh, I mean, what Hasani is saying is very true, because would the black woman have been given the same rights as a white woman would have? In the hospital, in a place like a hospital, also. You never know, because we've not experienced something like that, and we would never know, because it's not been shown to us, and
We haven't seen
we
another
haven't.
person, like
Yeah,
a
exactly.
close person facing it also. So
And plus, the times are very different. So thinking about something like this really is really shocking to an extent. But again, now if you want to connect this to what we're doing in class right now, the caste system that we're studying about in communication skills, right? We see how this is racism, and any form of discrimination always like has this element of putting down another community in all ways possible.
yeah.
So I mean, I don't think it's impossible to imagine something like this happening to a black woman who wanted to go to the hospital and deliver a baby at that point.
Yeah, also when that perfume scene, when her hand was used for like smelling perfumes, it also showed how a white man would do the same thing a black man would. Like the action was same, but they both did it in different ways.
Correct.
Exactly. The black man smelled his own hand, but the white man treated the woman as an object, I think, and kind of it was like he was sexualizing.
Yeah, and
It was,
objectifying
yeah,
her,
it
objectifying
felt a
her.
little
Objectifying.
uncomfortable. Yeah.
Exactly.
So again, coming back to the way the actors have acted, and to the fact that we are having that feeling of uncomfortableness, right? Only while watching it. Imagine what they had to go through.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it
I
was very,
also
yeah.
read an article, a review article that said that the actress who portrayed Tish was so phenomenal that I don't know if it's true or not, but I just read it. So if she would have been a white woman, she would have gotten way better roles and more movies and more, fame. I really don't know if that's true in today's time, but that also somewhere shows.
But I feel like black representation in 21st century cinema has increased phenomenally.
Yeah.
So, and given that this movie was shot in 2018, I feel like as time goes by, I'm sure she'll get more roles.
I know I don't know, somewhere down the line, I don't know why, but I
Yeah,
just agreed with that fact that it might be true because seeing
The white actors like appeal to a broader audience. So
exactly.
maybe that's one of the reasons.
Yeah.
So, this was all for today, and we will be back with another movie next week. Thank you.